It is not the migrants who pull down the country and lay off the workers. It is the corporations, it is the banks that are the enemies of the world, not the fellow migrants.
Start. So I guess kind of reflecting on my own question, where does it work whenever unions and migrant workers work together? I think if we follow the principle that we are for unity in struggle, but we have to struggle for unity. Unity does not come automatically, right? So our differences are not petty differences, if I may slightly disagree. These are real differences. These are political differences. And the difference lies in the fact that migrant workers and unionized workers come from different locations, different material realities. Our social realities are slightly different. Migrant workers are more vulnerable than some of the unionized workers, for example. We all know that. And the more we respect and acknowledge this, I think there's going to be better solidarity, right? So I think it's to begin with the recognition and with the respect that there are differences. And one of those differences is simply the greater vulnerability, political vulnerability, economic and social, of migrant workers. So I'd like to publicly acknowledge the help that UFCW has given in terms of this work. Also, as I said, we're partnering with Migrante, we're also partnering with UFCW, and looking forward to continuously working with both parties. So maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
He wanted to mention United Steelworkers earlier.
I guess just to add to the discussion that we had, in terms of our end, the community end, with Migrante, I think what worked for us is that really understanding who your enemy is and who your ally is, and it works for us in establishing alliance work. In a class society, there's only one enemy. It's the capitalism, and anyone who represents it. That's how I look at the society. And anyone outside that alliance can be built along any tactical alliance. And again, it is tactical. It is based on a basis of unity, whatever small that is. If that is a simple event like this, if everybody can talk, that is a basis of unity. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. Migrante Youth are organizing high school. I mean, people in high union and position debate on how they would position themselves. High schools are organizing. Migrant who just came in 4 months ago, right? I mean, it's really important to look at how you look at society and the root causes of these problems, right? And identifying your enemy. That's the only way we can really move forward and be able to identify who our allies is. And that worked for us in Migrante. And we don't, kumbaga in Filipino we call it walang masamang tinapay. If you're hungry, all bread is good bread.
Matthew to respond to the role of community media and radio in sharing the struggles of various sectors and people. So Matthew, if you can speak.
Definitely say that I've been in the position of program coordinator at CHOI for the last 6 months now. Previous to that, I was a volunteer, and what I want to say about the volunteer experience at a community radio station is what I want to convey to all community groups or all progressive movements in the city, is that we have our doors wide open and we invite you to share your stories. We don't expect that you're going to come with any broadcast experience at all. What we do is we exist to make that technology, which is not so difficult to use, we make it available to you. We want to empower the people in this community to share their story. We don't want people to think that someone else has the right to tell their story for them. And Basics does the same thing in many ways, but the essence of Basics and CHOI is that the people, again, are involved in the stories that they are telling. It is quite literally their story, and so I can just say in that very general way that Basics and CHOI we have an alliance as well. We actually have, in a sense, content sharing, that Basics does conduct a program at CHRY, and when I became program coordinator, I felt it was really important that I became involved in Basics as well, because I respect a lot of what they do. And in our mission statements, in our mandates, we are very clear in what our objectives are. CHRY is to be an anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic organization, and that has a lot of meaning to it. But as much as I can come here and speak to that, it is important that we acknowledge that CHRY and Basics is shaped by the people who come into the space. And the people who come into the space are in turn shaped by the other people who occupy that space. And what I can say for what CHRY can do for migrants and for progressive movements in the city is that, you know, we will continue to be here and welcome you. And I hope that you will welcome us as well. We want to share your stories, and we want you to use our airwaves to share your stories. And for Basics, you know, it is a matter of being involved in these movements. They want you to represent the movement that you are a part of. And I hope that we all feel a natural entitlement to that.